Hey everyone, back today again with another patch notes video. But before I get into that, thank you so much for all of you guys that have chosen to subscribe to the channel recently. I am very grateful for your support. I'm happy for those of you on console finally have gotten another big patch that rolled out to you yesterday, and hopefully you should see performance improvements. With that being said, feel free to let me know in the comment section how's it been for you guys on Xbox as well as PlayStation with the new patch that came out. I'm very curious to hear what your experience has been. Now without further ado, this will first be on PC, October 23rd with 2.31. It says here, greeting lamp bearers. Thank you everyone for the fantastic reception to our ongoing plans for the game. Rest assured that compliments don't make us complacent. Quite the opposite. They keep igniting our commitment to all of you, especially now that our community has grown to 1 million copies sold worldwide. Hats off to them. Thanks again for your unwavering support on our end, and we will continue to provide you with constant game improvement based on your feedback. New Game Plus. Due to popular demand, we will allow players to activate the New Game Plus 0 from Vestiges tomorrow once they've completed the current game. Then for stability, identify a particular post-processed material permutation that certain GPUs could not handle. Then optimization for here, adjust the spawn distance for umbral parasites to reduce the number of active actors simultaneously in the revelation depths area. We will work in collaboration with hardware manufacturers to enhance the automatic graphics settings configuration, which is much needed for this game. I feel like for those that are on PC, I feel like performance for this game, as I've said before, has been all over the place. One day it's fine, the next day it's not. Now for AI, fix nav mesh in the cistern to better support umbral enemies on a specific floating platform. Refine the nav mesh on a specific turn at the path of devotion that could mislead AIs to a dead end, potentially causing them to get stuck. Refine nav mesh at the bottom of Pilgrim's Perch, allowing AI to traverse a thin wooden plank that players could previously use as a safe spot. Fixing issues with sparrows getting stuck underneath specific conditions on the Mancy supply elevator path. We enabled the lock-on feature for ambush enemies in Upper Calaf. For bosses here we have Sister Delyth will now have her parasites active from the beginning of the fight instead of after a few seconds, as it was observed that this would confuse some players. Okay, I didn't have an issue. I just quickly figured out when I fought her to bait her towards the beginning section where you would first enter the boss arena, and then you wouldn't even have to deal with the parasite at all. Then for balancing, we have the amount of healing from killing an enemy with the Ring of Nourishment equip has now been increased from 5 to 15. Oh, that is nice. And then Umbral Egg health reduced from 205 to 166. So the Umbral Egg health got a nerf there. Meanwhile, the ring got a buff. We also increased the Pilgrim Perch key buy price from 9,500 to 1,800, as we noticed that some early game players were attempting to grind for it only to discover that they didn't have the appropriate level for the area. We noticed that the end game players were not relying on pairing as much towards the end of the game. That's why we reduced the maximum stagger health region scaler in New Game Plus and normal gameplay from times 1.5 to 1.25. Okay, interesting. Grievous strike damage output increased on some weapon families, especially heavier weapons and fists. Nice. So now stagger has gotten a buff on certain weapons. Yeah, I like to try to parry and everything, so I want to get rewarded for being able to achieve that. Scalar for overlevel players increased by 50% to make overlevel clients deal more appropriate damage. Oh, so because I believe they do scale based off of your level with the enemies in the game. To shake things up a bit, the meta for PvP, Pieta's light sword received nerf to poise and posture damage dealt, while the Judge cleric spear received a buff to smite damage dealt. So for those of you guys that have been playing PvP with the Pieta light sword, that sword has now gotten a nerf. I use it for PvE, but I don't really dive into the PvP all that much, or maybe later on, but right now I'm just trying to play through the game. says here, for level design, discovering a secret temple in a hidden location now displays the temple's name in a more prominent position. Added an additional void volume at the Empyrean to prevent players from falling for too long at a certain spot. So here we have a bunch of collision fixes now for the game. And then for elevators, it says here, elevator doors now have a brief delay before they start moving up or down, allowing players to exit before they begin moving. This changes provide players with the chance to reset the elevator for their next respawn. But beware, elevators still have an attitude. This cannot be fixed. Okay, good to know. And then for visuals, we have fixed material in some umbral statue in Lower Calrath Mines District. And then for UI changes, we have move the resolution scaling to graphics settings. The catalyst spell power statistic is now displayed in the inventory tab. Resolve an issue that could occur when the character slots were full and the player overwrote one of the old characters. And then we've hidden the health bars of enemies that receive damage off screen to avoid seeing them in boss fight rooms or unintended location. Yeah, that is nice because I've definitely noticed that before as well. What they've mentioned that they fix here is a little bit distracting. I'm like, wait, what? Did I even hit that enemy? So yeah, a welcome change. And then for audio, we've resolved an issue where some ambient sounds could stop playing under certain conditions. So that's it, guys, for the patch notes here. If you would like to stay update with the latest patch notes that are coming out, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone.